What is poppin' squad? It's your boy Jesimein, and today I'm about to help a lot of you out. Now, first things first, if you haven't been watching my streams, I've been pretty much trying to figure out what the next meta is going to be and what's going to be good so that you won't be wasting time farming and you won't get rid of something that necessarily could be good in this patch. So I've done a lot of testing, dude. I've done full tank builds, I've done full DPS builds, I've done full health builds. Because it's the PTS, we get access to like an unlimited amount of caches. So we're allowed to make crazy stat builds that you wouldn't be able to make in the live game. So obviously everything is going to be extreme when you compare it to the live game, but it should still give you a general overview of what to expect. Now, I've done a lot, and when I say a lot, like it's been so much that I didn't even be able to stream every day and make videos because I was just focused on just trying to get everything right, just so I know of testing when it comes to what feels good in the game. So just to put it out there, health is going to be extremely important. I mean, health is already kind of important because that obviously that's the vector meta, but health is now important in a different way because of all the changes. So first things first, the biggest changes that are going to be is for PvP and even for PvE is going to be the chem launcher change, which means you can't stack heals, which ultimately means DPS builds don't have the same healing output. Therefore, they have to rely on skill builds or more tankiness. And then you have the PvP modifier changing. So for the PvP players, you're going to be doing less damage than you're doing right now in a meta where people have more health. So not only are we getting more health, we're doing less damage because of the PvP modifier. And ultimately, that increases the time to kill by a lot. So you can imagine tanking bullets and being able to survive is going to be a key thing. If you play Division 1, you know. Now, another big thing is obviously you don't really have to worry about the vector meta as much. Berserk Constrained and big health pools just really aren't a thing if you compare it to what we're doing right now in the live game. So you don't have to worry about that, which opens the floor to all the other builds because there's a lot of things that really didn't change, like Unhinged on LMGs didn't really change. I don't know, like Unbreakable got buffed, and there's just a lot of things where the general meta outside of Vector really wasn't touched, except Clutch. So now Clutch got a buff, and I mean, we've talked about this plenty of times, but it's different now. So being that you're not doing damage, you have way more opportunity to spec into crazy health pools like this, where I have like triple the health that I would have in the live game, which means I'm way harder to kill. Yes, I don't do the damage that I do, or I'm just speaking if I was a Vector main build user, you're not doing the damage that you're doing with Berserk Constraint anymore. So now you're going to be focusing on just staying alive to be able to put out enough bullets to destroy somebody. And that's with all builds. Like, you don't even really need to have Clutch, just period. Tankiness is going to be a thing. So what should you be farming for? So obviously, if you're running Chem Launcher, let's say you're just going, let's talk about skill builds. If you want to farm for skill builds, you want to make sure you have all the mods for chem launches because there's, in my opinion, there's two ways to heal. So let's say you want to be a support player. If you want to heal, you have two options. Either extremely low duration, which means don't run capacitive on anything, and then have high ammo. Okay? So high ammo and burst heal. So if you don't have capacitive on anything, you have a decent duration where you could put out one at a time. Since you can't stack them, you have like, I don't know, like 12 ammo plus the 40% heal mod or something, and you'll be able to heal that way, where you can always have a heal ready, especially if you have multiple teammates. There's that way to heal. And then there's the opposite way to heal, which is an extreme amount of duration and burst healing. So what you want to do is you want to put down one and kind of just stick in it and kind of like absorb as much of the health as possible. But with running that, you obviously have less ammo, so you're probably running 3 chem launchers, and those are super potent. You would save those, they're more critical. Those are only two ways to heal. It would be stupid to have extremely high duration and 16 ammo. It would be extremely stupid to have no duration and no burst heal, so no duration with 16. Like, it just, the only combination is super long duration with burst heal or extreme amount of ammo with no duration. So if you want to farm for all your chem launcher mods, because you're definitely going to be having to change up your healing playstyle, and they're going to introduce auxiliary batteries and stuff, so obviously that makes it easier for you to run your mods and stuff, but we'll get into that when we dive deeper into that. And as far as skill builds, if you're running damage type, because I mean you're either a healer or you're every other skill, right? They're all considered damage or utility. Hardwired is really good because now you get skill damage, plus you're going to be able to have those auxiliary mods where you can kind of flesh out and kind of be a little bit more tanky than you're used to. So that's pretty much it. As far as skill builds, that's as far as it goes. Yes, we got a buff in damage, but so did players' health, so it's not really that big of a difference. I don't see skill power necessarily being that insane, especially because those auxiliary batteries. So we're going to be seeing a lot of hybrid combinations, so be on the lookout for those. Okay, now that we covered skill builds, okay, so as far as weaponry, the main talents that I think are going to shine is going to be Ranger, because you are going to be running against people who are running crit chance, clutch builds to get that health back. You want to be able to be as far away as possible and laser them from across the map, especially because they're going to have less armor if they're trying to spec into full health. Ranger is going to be really good to have. Obviously, Allegro and all of them are going to be really good to have. You want to make sure you try to get as much pieces of gear with Vital as possible, because at some point, I promise you, even if you're not a tanky player, you're going to want to spec into health when you start seeing how it affects the game. So make sure you get some pieces that have Vital on it. You can only get it on a chest piece and backpack if you did not know, so just be on the lookout for that. Another really big, and I always stress this, farm your ass off for Alp Summit chest piece, because they give you these huge rolls. So like, let's say you get a god roll chest that goes into your build, you can bring something like a 20% headshot damage to it, and you only get these huge rolls on Alp's chest right now. So make sure you try to collect those. There is no specific way to get them. I know people, that's the first thing they're asked, well, how do I get them? The best luck I've had is in the light zone. Believe it or not, I haven't gotten too many in the dark zone, so you can avoid PvP if you are a PvEer to get these chests. I got most of them out of the little boxes. They're like the little olive colored like tackle boxes, and you can open those up, and that's pretty much where I've gotten all mine, and I have like 7 on the live server, so that's good to know. Okay. What else is another thing? Okay, so Unbreakable is definitely going to be used. Most people probably have it. This is like general knowledge. Unbreakable, since it got such a big buff as far as in PvE and in Occupied, because those are the 2 main things I do anyways. So for me, it got buffed and normalized. Not so much in Conflict. It's still pretty much the same because it goes down. But in PvE, I mean, if you're a PvEer, you get 70% of your max armor repaired when your armor is depleted. So if you kind of run Unbreakable with like a high armor build like this, you get 70% of 331,000 back. So that's definitely going to be a good spec to get into. So farm for Unbreakable chests, because they are going to be your best friend. Okay, another thing you want to have is obviously most people, I mean, I don't have to really talk about this, is clutch gloves. Try to get you some clutch gloves on another piece of glove that you're gonna be able to roll to, because you're gonna do a lot of re-rolling. Your entire build is going to have these little modifications post patch, because you're gonna be able to outrageously roll extreme stats like on your gear. So you can see like right here, like 40k armor and 9.5% armor. So there's gonna be a lot of things like that. Now I'm not too sure about how the total armor and the total healths are going to work on a build, as far as if they're going to get transferred over. But from what I know, they said a lot of things are what do they say, retroactive, so that a lot of your gear may change. So you may be good, you may be not, I don't know, it depends on change. But obviously you want to make sure you keep, if you have a good chest piece that has really high armor right now or really high health, I'm pretty sure that's going to go up to whatever the high roll is on this patch. As I mean, granted, nothing changes, right? We're only theorizing, but I assume that's how it will work, because there's no way you're getting a 42k right now in the current patch. So I doubt they're going to make you re-farm for entire pieces of gear. So be on the lookout for that. Keep your high rolls, no matter what it is, just keep it, because you're going to be making a lot of builds. Okay, so yeah, that's just something to know. Another thing to know is okay, so I can't really show you because I don't have a lot, but you can see that the mods changed in values. I don't know if those are going to change necessarily. They haven't really put enough emphasis on that for me, so I don't know. But if I were you guys, I would clear out your whatever is low roll for you, clear out and start collecting mods hard, no matter what they are. Just collect them, because we don't know what they're going to change to, because there's a lot of things like I never even really seen, like total armor. Oh, I actually have seen that total armor, but like critical chance resistance, I don't think I've ever seen that, and I've never seen like high rolls like this, or In my case, I mean, some people maybe have, like, I've never gotten something that gave me 5,000 armor, you know what I'm saying? So that's just something to look towards. You can see like raw generic system mods. Obviously, in the patch, it's not like they got nerfed. People were worried that because people were like not exploiting, but kind of using them to get crazy, like different stats. They didn't change too much. You can still get really high value, so continue to farm those if you have the time to do so. Now, this is my personal preference, and like I said, this is my testing, so I can only go off of what I test and what I've gotten out of it. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, health is way stronger than armor, so I would prioritize. Like, if you don't got the stash base and you have to prioritize something and get rid of something, get rid of your armor pieces before you get rid of your health. In my opinion, if you have to choose between a god tier health chest like this and a god tier like armor chest like this, get rid of that, because for some reason getting vital. All right, so I've opened hundreds of caches. I don't know if it's PTS RNG or just RNG period, but I mean, like I said, I've opened hundreds. I get way more armor roll items than I do health. It's like it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just not I don't know if there's rarities in between stats or anything. But in my experience, okay, like I said, this is on the PTS. It can change. It could be completely wrong just based off RNG. But I've gotten, like, as you can see, like, I have one vital chest, dude. I get all kinds of armor talents. I think it's because they know that this is going to be more of a blue meta. I get a lot more blue rolls that are based around armor or anything. So prioritize health, in my opinion. You don't have to. You can do both. But if you had to and you're pushed into a wall where you don't or not even if you're pushed into a wall, if you're not even at gear score 500 and you're not sure what to keep, I would keep health items, keep vitals, keep anything revolving around health as priority. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my opinion. You can take that, if you leave it, whatever you want. But that's just my experience. Now, as far as weapons, I have good news for you guys. None of the weapons are outlandishly stronger than the other. I mean, we already know, like the M249B and like the M60 are obviously some of the strongest weapons in the game. They are still some of the strongest. You can see, like, wow, look at the difference, dude. What the hell? Wow. Anyways, but this is the strongest gun in the game, in my opinion. But LMGs are still extremely powerful. Since hipfire does not give crit, people thought that LMGs were gonna like just die off. They're not. LMGs weren't even based around crit. But with the health changes, we might see a little difference. So I don't know, but LMGs are still good to keep. Unhinged is still extremely good to keep. It's still one of the best talents in the game. Don't worry. A lot of people are like, oh, it'll take away. You still get 20% free weapon damage on a top talent. You don't get that with anything else in the game. So Unhinged still extremely strong. I don't think I have a Frenzy to show you. Frenzy's 2-tier. It's Unhinged is just better. Just roll it. Just get Unhinged. Focus on Unhinged. You can run Frenzy if that's your thing, but I would recommend Unhinged. Like I said, for ARs, you want to make sure you get Measured or Ranger. Those are two really good talents for this. For subs, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe a sub player will be able to get that. But as long as you have Allegro, I don't care what else it is. Just Allegro on me. So for shotguns, Premeditated is still just as powerful. Don't worry about it. It's still going to be Premeditated as the main focus top talent for those. And obviously second talent and stuff is off your preference. What else am I missing? On knee pads, anything? No, knee pads are pretty much the same. I mean, that's just pretty much given. Okay, so also with your holsters, right now, look, like I said, I can only do what I've been testing, and what I've been coming from is the fact that it's really hard to get these talents on holsters because of the fact that RNG is just terrible in the PTS. So if you have a lot of good talents on that, be sure to keep those. And while we're on the topic of keeping, I apologize, my video froze, so that's why I started here. But anyways, you want to keep every single freaking material you can get, bro, because I promise you will run through it. And the reason is because since you're getting outrageous rolls on your gear, you're going to want to tap into those. Me personally, I never really had to roll all 6 pieces. 1 piece is god roll enough. Now, since you're able to make such a big difference with the amount of health or rolls that you can get single stat, you're going to recalibrate everything, which means you're going to be spending at least 6 pieces worth of materials. So at least have 300k credits. max out your materials. They did raise the cap, but it really doesn't matter because you're gonna run through it anyways. But just as a heads up, please, for everything that is in you, do not recalibrate right now. Unless you're like a 200, 300, 400 gear score person trying to get to 500 optimized to be able to play against the top tier dogs, that's okay. But if you are just trying to optimize your build, that is not the smart way to go right now. Just save your resources, because anything you do is going to get dogged compared to what you'll be able to roll on your pieces of gear. Especially if you have, like, let's say you have a chest piece like right here, and let's say like right now I look at this armor is 20k and my health was just lower and I wanted it higher. This could go up because of the changes, and then I'm already locked into this, and now I just have to look at an ultra god roll stat that I can't do nothing with on another build. So save those, stay away from freaking recalibrating, bro. Please, if you're already at the top, if you're on your way, if you're just grinding and you just got the game and you're like en route, that's okay. But if you're at the top and you're just optimizing, once again, do not. Now, PvE players, just a quick little heads up. You're going to be almost immortal playing against NPCs if you run health with clutch, because not only the NPCs damage get nerfed, we got buffed health wise, so you're going to feel a lot tankier in your control points solo and all this stuff. So you can run pretty much anything you want, you're going to feel tankier. But if you absolutely just want to dog through content, run health and run clutch and then run whatever you want around it. Obviously spec into health, and you will definitely see outrageous results. So that's pretty much it, you guys. If I missed anything, drop it in the comments. I know this video was kind of long, but I really want to touch on like my whole general consensus of what the PTS has been. Obviously there's another phase and we'll test minor changes from there, but the general, when I'm comparing it to the live server, everything in this video, in my opinion, being a PvP main, PvE secondary, I've pretty much stated it, and you guys pretty much already know a gist of it. It's not like you guys are in the dark, but ultimately I would say hold on to everything you can, if you can, and that's pretty much all I can tell you. If you want to go against that, feel free to. You have every right to, but I promise you, you will be stressed out when you start going against people who have like my kind of health, bro, and you wasted it on 2% crit chance. So pretty much it. I love y'all. Drop it a comment or something if I missed it. Let me know. I will definitely touch on it. I will be surfing through the comments and trying to check out and see if anybody has any questions that I probably missed. So hit that subscribe if you are new. Drop a like. Share the video. Help somebody else. If somebody else has questions about the PTS, refer them to this video, and I promise you they will thank you, because they will be set when it comes out. So it's been real. I love y'all. It's your boy, and I'm out.